Hey, and welcome back to another episode of SUPcast, which is my podcast. This is episode 76, featuring my friend, Matthew Ryan Surline, and we have a good old time. I don't know if you follow me over at TikTok, but I've been getting a lot of views lately. I spend most of my time making silly videos and working on this podcast. The thing is about that is my YouTube channel is small and my TikTok is not monetized. Therefore, I'm making zero to no money off of any of these videos. For example, my Willis Smith remix got 32,000 views. If you enjoy what I do, or if you enjoy this podcast, please consider being a patron of my Patreon. www.patreon.com/NeilP. I'm going to continue making this stuff just because I like it. Just you watching, liking, and interacting with the video is enough for me. But if you want to go the extra step and help out your boy, $5 a month, it helps me out. Without further ado, let's get into the episode. We have Matthew Ryan Surline, a.k.a. Auntie Ely, a.k.a. a dumb bitch. SUPcast number 76. Let's go. We have friends, and this is cool because normally it's just me on some fucking Zoom call, and today we're here with Auntie Ely and we have Allie, so it's a fucking party. We're partying, and say hi, everyone.
Hi.
And Eli is the purveyor, is that even a word, of a dumb bitch clothing? Is that what your company's called?
It is called dumbbitchclothes.com.
Here, let me model.
And the website is dumbbitchclothes.com.
Let me model this real quick. Yeah. This shirt says, "I love being a dumb bitch." And yeah. So let's get into it. What makes one a dumb bitch?
A lot of things could do that. It's really like if you believe in yourself that you are that, then you are that.
Do you consider yourself a dumb bitch?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I mean the way that shirt exists is because I made one for myself, and then I posted a selfie with it, and then everybody that watches my stories wanted one, so I started making them for other people.
What inspired you to?
That's great.
To make it for yourself? Like, what was the impetus? It looked like there was a cat there, but there's not. Nope. I'm seeing cat ghosts.
Could be a symptom of being a dumb bitch.
Possibly.
Yeah, so what came about where you're like, I should make this a shirt? Like, what did you do? And like a friend laugh or something? Like it was like some kind of joke. And
so I was at Oakland Mall, RIP, and there was like a guy selling. There was like a shop where you can make whatever T-shirt that you want. And he was like, you got to come in here and make a shirt. And I was like, I kind of loved the whole, like all the shirts he had because they were like absurd. They were like, I love my grandma. They were like, like someone's weird family reunion and all these, like, why are you selling someone's family reunion? Like no one's family is coming for that. So I went in and I was just kind of like having fun with the guy. And that's just, I don't know, that's just what jumped out of my mind. I was like, I want one that says, I love being a dumb bitch because that's what I am. And so, yeah. I think a little bit I was trying to like see if he would even make it, but he made it.
And he picked that font?
No, I picked that font.
Oh, that's cool.
He wasn't offended by the idea?
No, he was not.
That's like a happy accident. Those are so cool when that happens.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and then it just sort of like unravels into a little small business.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So the original one has like flames.
Nice.
Coming off it. So I decided to go with that font for all of the other ones, and then only I get the flame one.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's like you get the OG one.
We have buff.
That's cool. Did Diarrhea Champion come next? And are you still selling that?
Okay, so what? Okay, so
I bought a lot of those, by the way. I don't know if you knew that.
Thank you.
We support dumb bitch clothing.
I gave those as a lot of Christmas gifts this year.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So what happened with that? And why Diarrhea Champion? So I have two companies, really. One is dumbbitchclothes.com and one is Diarrhea Champion. So the reason that Diarrhea Champion exists is because I was selling a lot of the dumb bitch clothes on Facebook and Instagram. And when I tried to connect my online store, I guess, I don't know, it like brought attention to it and the algorithm caught it and they like shut my accounts down. And I couldn't post, I couldn't like do anything. And I was like, oh shit, you know, because I was like making a little bit of money and able to support myself for like a hot second, you know, especially during the panini.
Yeah. And the panini,
The panini, yeah. I had like no income, and I was like, that's my only thing right now. So, you know, I got a message, and you know, there's like a little, people talk about shadow banned a lot. I was like banned. I had like a red exclamation point.
Like you couldn't even log in.
I could log in only to see that I'm banned.
Really?
Yeah, there was like a little red exclamation point in a red triangle, like you did bad.
Right.
like you're in trouble.
It does the same thing on TikTok.
Oh, does it?
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So, you know, I called and I'm trying to get a hold of like, you know, someone from Facebook, from the metaverse. And
hi, Metaverse. Can I speak with Zuck, please?
Yeah, can I just get like
Mark
calling
there, Mark.
Yeah, and I'm like requesting reviews and all this stuff. And so, in the meantime, I was like, well, I need to like, you know, make something that is still on brand, but not specifically derogatory. Yeah. So that's why I made Diarrhea Champion.
Nice.
So like, so that way I could like circumvent the rules. And so when I made Diarrhea Champion and changed it, then they let me post again. And then someone from Facebook actually fucking called me on the phone.
Wow.
And I was like, holy shit.
Whoa.
Like I got Facebook on the phone.
That's insane.
And basically the customer service representative was like, yeah, there's like nothing we can do. That's like you can't have shirts that say I love being a dumb bitch because it's like specifically derogatory and someone could feel, you know, it's specifically demeaning to someone. And I was like, you know, like it's meant to be empowering. And the guy's like, yeah, I see your point, but like there's nothing,
no.
we cannot help you.
Yeah.
I mean, the only thing negative I would say about it is just the stigma of the B word, you know? Like, other than that, it is, if you consider yourself to be this, it should be empowering, you know?
Right, yeah, exactly. And like, you know, the idea of the shirt is to like take the stigma away from it. And to take the expectations of like society, you know, like, you know, being efficient and intelligent and all these things that are like really just like really stressful ideas and boring and just like just, you know, ideas that are instilled to make you go to work all the time in America. Like, so, you know, the idea is to like, is fuck all that. Like, I'm going to be a dumb bitch and be proud of being a dumb bitch. Like, I'm going to be rude when I feel insulted and I'm going to fucking not feel the need to like be super intelligent. I'm just going to like enjoy my life by the moment. So that's like the idea behind it.
I like
I feel
that.
I fully live that life.
Now I have a question. My ex, I used to say I'm a silly little bitch. And I used to talk to my drummer. He used to be like, "You're a little bitch." Like, I'm a little bitch. You're a little bitch. And she was quite offended that we were slinging around that term.
Sure.
But embracing it. So my question is, Am I allowed to consider myself a dumb bitch if I think I'm a dumb bitch or a silly little bitch?
I think so, absolutely. It's just a word, and you can make the, you know, it's like you can reclaim that word.
I think your ex-girlfriend was definitely a dumb bitch.
Oh
shit!
Ooh,
get her a shirt. Get her a shirt.
That's shots fired.
I don't know.
That's shots fired.
I feel like to take any word and like bitch and be sensitive about it, it's like, yeah, I'd rather turn it around and have it be fun.
Yeah.
Like, I'm a dumb bitch. I like Starbucks. I like fucking brunch.
Whatever.
Like,
yeah.
I like, you know, going to Vegas. I like being a dumb bitch.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna get too drunk. I'm gonna talk shit.
Yeah.
Like, you know, just
I'm gonna be a fucking dumb bitch.
Yeah.
I feel
fun.
like now the term slut has turned around in a big way.
Totally. Same idea. Yeah.
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 Because, I mean, you hear like around 2012, 2013, everyone was becoming very aware of and being more sensitive and nicer to people and whatnot. But, you know, the word slut has been thrown around for yada yada. It seemed like that was reclaimed even, I don't know, before bitch. I don't know. I'm not.
I think it was a little bit because there was a book that came out that was like, what was it called? The Ethical Slut. That's what it was called. And I feel like that, I don't know. That's when I became aware of the, like, you know, the changing of the word, because people got really into that book. You know, and it was kind of a like sexual revolutionary idea, going on with that book that was, I think it's called The Ethical Slut. It's been like 10 years since I've seen it. But it's kind of the same idea.
Allie wrote a book.
I wrote a book around like 10 years ago.
Tell us about.
It was called You're Probably a Slut, and I wrote it like 10 years ago.
Nice.
And it's right around when like they did that slut walk.
Yeah.
And that went over my head. I missed that. I was like, where was I on that? Which is crazy. But when I had my slut book out, it was like a fluke, but it got popular for like a split second.
Nice.
And then it just like faded. And I'm like,
Wasn't it on the iTunes thing?
Yeah, like back when iTunes like was like, you know.
Remember iTunes?
Yeah, back when they were like promoting like a lot of like ebooks and stuff. It's when people like still like use their Kindles and like all that stuff like all the time. It like hit top 10 and then it just went away. I don't know what happened. Like no one gave a shit anymore. I was like, what happened? The fuck? But
I'm sitting with a famous author.
I mean, previously famous 10, 11 years ago. Yes.
That still counts.
Quite. But yeah, no, I tried getting it into like a lot of local bookstores, and it was like that hustle of like people kept turning me down. I was like, fuck. And like one bookstore was like, oh, you're that book girl. Cause like I hit them up too much. So that honestly, like all that shit, I don't know if you've been turned away from small clothing shops. You probably haven't, but it prepares you to like have a thicker skin. So now that I'm on my next thing, like I learned from that, you know, like I know not to get like my feelings all hurt.
Yeah.
The same way, you know?
I haven't actually tried to put it in stores yet.
No?
It's still on my to-do list because I made the website. So like you can just get it directly from the website.
Yeah.
So, you know, the hassle of like shipping in bulk and like, you know, giving, you know, bulk discounts, all these kind of things.
That is a thing.
And also just like dealing with extra people is really the deterrent. So you like dumbbitchclothes.com.
Yeah.
You know,
Dumb bitch direct.
yeah, just
Direct to your door.
just get it directly from me. I haven't even tried to put it in stores yet.
Yeah, that is a thing because you do have to do like the bulk discounts and all that.
Yeah.
So
Do you think the reason a lot of people were against your book being in their store was because of the stigma behind the word?
no, I think it wasn't good enough. I think
Oh shit.
I think the art wasn't good enough because I was going to like a lot of like kind of kitschy, cool like art stores and like book art stores, you know, like in San Francisco and in LA. And my art was made on Photoshop and it was line drawings and it was just supposed to complement the one liner. And I just think it wasn't good enough. I think it was simple and it was like a cute, funny, like toilet read, but it wasn't anything that I think they wanted to like get behind, especially because like, you know, it was like my first publish, you know, even though it was on like a label. I don't know. Just, yeah. I only got picked up by like 2 stores. That's it. I tried too. But it's okay. Cause like you try and sometimes things are like, and then you just move on to the next thing, you know?
Yeah. You just keep doing stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what I've been just doing stuff for a while now.
Yeah.
We're all just doing stuff.
That's
Honestly,
fun.
that's how I look at my whole life. I'm like, I'm just bumbling around,
Same.
enjoying myself where I can, trying to squeeze some joy out of the whole.
Are you a Michigan native?
Yeah. I was born in Port Huron.
Oh.
Where's that?
Yeah, Allie doesn't know anything about Michigan.
Okay. So it's like on the side we're on still, but a little south.
Yeah, it's about an hour's drive east of here.
It's by Canada.
Oh, really?
It's across the bridge from Canada.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. I tried entering Canada from Port Huron once, and the gentleman I had in my band at the time had a pair of brass knuckles. And
they found
turns out you're not allowed to have those even in the United States, let alone going into Canada.
Oh my God.
And then I had sleeping pills that my mother had given me because I had just gotten back from Japan. And they're like, what are these? I'm like, my mom gave them to me. They're like, these are narcotics. Or no, they're like heavy antidepressant sleeping pills.
So they searched you guys. Like you guys got searched.
Yeah, that's Canada.
They search everybody or just like you guys look suspicious because you were like a bunch of guys?
Well, it's post 9/11, I think.
I usually get searched.
Really?
Yeah.
It's fucked up.
I got searched on mushrooms one time there.
Nice.
Yeah.
Like you were on mushrooms?
Oh, yeah. I was with Casey Miller. Yeah. We used to do this thing when we were 19 because the drinking age is 19 over in Windsor. And we would go over.
That's crazy.
And he would always drive and he would always say, I'm going to the casino to lose money. And the person at the booth would get a laugh. Yeah. And we'd go over there and get shit-faced. And he would always drive. Like, I'm pretty sure he was drinking too. But that's just what you do when you're 19. You go over to Canada, you get shit-faced.
Yeah, I don't know if they do that still, but like I did the same thing. And thinking back, I'm like, wow, holy shit. There were so many drunk children driving across that massive
Terrible.
bridge.
Dude, totally.
Like literally drunk children driving over that crazy bridge.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm surprised. I mean, I got a ticket for urinating over there once, and they still let me back over. Yeah, it was.
Wow.
Yeah, it was weird times.
Yeah, similarly, when I was 18, I did that, but with Tijuana, because I was in California.
Right.
So we all drove over and got like shit-faced in Tijuana, and we were all like 18, went to a strip club. I can't even believe that I like survived that. That was literally insane. Flashed people. It was just crazy. Flashed people for pesos.
Nice. Tijuana life.
Allie was wild.
And then we just came home. It was like an hour drive.
I should take that shirt to Tijuana.
Do it.
I wonder if it would translate. Like, if
I love being a estúpida puta.
is that how you say it in Spanish?
Would it be like te amo estúpida puta?
I don't know.
I don't know. Like,
I
I love you, you stupid bitch. I don't know.
I don't
That's
know.
nice too, though.
Yeah.
We have to ask Google.
Yeah, te amo is I love you, so it's like te amo estúpida puta.
But that's I love you. So it'd be,
I know. So I'd be like, what would you say? Amo?
You'd have to conjugate the
Yeah,
verb.
I don't know. Like the verb. I'm mixing it up. You know.
Yeah, we'll learn one day.
Yeah.
When we
I
go
got
back.
Babel.
Okay, so Port Huron, and when tell us, Eli, tell us about your dumb bitch journey, because it seems to me like when I go on social media, and I've been doing it a lot lately, where I go on social media and I get kind of like bummed out because I feel like people are more successful than me, but when I see your stuff, it just seems like you're having more fun than everybody. So tell us about your life. Let's get into it.
Well, I moved to Detroit from Port Huron. I used to work on a ship called the Highlander Sea, and it's this big pirate ship looking long, like tall ship, like 3 masts, the whole thing.
Wow.
And so when I was like 19, 20, my friends were always older, so they had moved to Detroit to go to Wayne State. And one night we just got really drunk, and like we were coming, like I'd worked on the ship all day, and the tendency was to get drunk after you work on the boat. And then a bunch of my friends like were just like, they kind of kidnapped me. They were like, you're coming to Detroit. You're moving to Detroit right now.
Oh, wow.
And so I just like, I grabbed all my clothes and put them in my van. And then the next morning I woke up at my friend's apartment at like 3rd and Prentice Street. And I just never went home. I just
Whoa.
stayed.
What year was this?
That would have been, God, I don't know. 2007.
Okay, yeah, because I feel
Yeah.
like I met you around 08 when Casey was doing what was the wrestling?
Squared Circle
He was
Review.
doing Squared Circle, but it was at Theater Bazaar.
Yep.
So everyone has a first Theater Bazaar story. For those of you who don't know, Theater Bazaar is a legendary Detroit thing that started in a bunch of vacant lots that they turned into a carnival on acid, yada, yada. Big, giant parties with tons of beer. Everyone's in costume, flamethrowers, roller coasters. It's a legendary thing. But somehow all the weirdos find Theater Bazaar, whether it's on accident or whether someone brings them there. How did you find Theater Bazaar?
There was a coffee shop called Amsterdam Espresso in the Cass Corridor area. And I don't know why the owner of that, I don't remember why the owner knew that I played the pipe organ. But I grew up in churches, and, you know, I played keyboards and I played pipe organ in church before. I must have told the owner that before. So one day I was standing in line to get a coffee. And the guy in front of me, his name was Ken. He used to... He used
The
to
Ken?
The Ken. And yeah,
The Ken.
he co-owned Theater Bazaar with John Donovan at the time. And so the barista / owner of the coffee shop was like, hey, how's Theater Bazaar coming? And I didn't know them. I didn't know what Theater Bazaar was about. So she was like, hey, how's Theater Bazaar coming? And Ken was like, good, I'm just looking for a pipe organist. And she was like, there's a pipe organist right behind you. And I was like, hi,
Oh.
what's up? And so then he was like, really? You play pipe organ? And I was like, yeah. He's like, well, come by, do an audition. So I go there, and they were just like building shit in the garage, getting ready for this thing. And so I just set up my little Casio keyboard into an amp while they're working in the garage and played for a while. And like, I didn't think anyone was paying attention to me, and I'm still pretty positive no one was paying attention at all.
Yeah.
You know, everyone's just smoking weed and like painting things. And then so I played for like 45 minutes, and I was like, so do you want me to keep playing, or like, what's the, you know? And they were like, no, you're hired, whatever.
Wow.
And I still didn't know what it was, and I didn't know how many people went to it. So it was cool because the there was like the big main stage, and then the pipe organ had its own stage like built up into this tree with all these like huge pipes. And a skeleton crucified up on it. It was so fucking cool. Flamethrowers and shit. So they set me up there. And I'd never seen Theater Bizarre before. And so they told me to have about like an hour and a half of music prepared. And I was supposed to play the entrance music and then like, a little jingle in between bands while they set.
Yeah.
But like things went wrong and there was like snafus going on the stage. So I ended up playing for like 5 or 6 hours and I couldn't get out of my tree. And I had to pee the whole time.
I was just
I had to fucking pee the whole time.
How do you pee?
Yeah. And so, but it was cool because I had the best seat in the house.
That's awesome.
Oh, yeah.
And it was back when they did like really cool, dangerous shit. Like I remember like someone came out, they had this like rickety catwalk that came out. And someone came out on a unicycle that was like 12 feet high and it had fucking spikes going out. And they came out on this rickety stage and like came out and juggled. And I was like, dude, if he falls, he's going to impale like 10 people.
Jesus.
Yeah.
And they had another one where they had like, man, this was a long time ago, but they had like a guy that had like a motorized lawnmower. He like started the engine and then he like balanced it on his chin and came out into the audience and people were fucking throwing cabbages into the blades. Like, the back when they did that kind of shit. So yeah, it was cool. That was my first, that was my first introduction. That was my first night. So I had to like play way longer than I anticipated. My partner was mad at me because like I was unavailable to go home when, she wanted to go home.
Right.
I was like, I can't get out of my tree. and I wasn't going to leave him with dead air.
Yeah.
And I remember like I was playing the same songs a couple times and I remember the sound guy giving me shit about it. So I was like, I'm out of music, dude.
Yeah.
But that's like,
funny.
that's the type of trial by fire shit. Like, Allie, you've never...
I've only walked around like the skeleton of it now.
Yeah.
And we went there and you're like, this is where Theater Bizarre used to be. And it was like all these like, I don't know, like old setups that were just sitting there.
Yeah, because it's like a rickety wood stage that these dudes are all carpenters. Like it's a bunch of working class weirdos in Detroit. Cool. And they built this stage and there's a giant clown head, like a demonic clown head at the very top of the stage. But yeah, the rickety
Hail Zombo.
Yeah, Hail Zombo. The rickety catwalk was a thing. And I actually, like when my band was playing there one year, my foot actually went through the stage. So it wasn't like, it wasn't the most like reinforced stage. And also it was like, through all of the seasons of Michigan, it was just erected. The stage was just there. So, it survived winters and winters. So you can only imagine that those planks and those wood boards and all the catwalks and shit, how fucked up and, it was rickety. I mean, there's a Insane Clown Posse video. There is, In Your Face. From, what's the album?
And
was
they
it
went there?
Bang, Pow, Boom.
Bang, Pow, Boom.
And they went to the...
What album is this on? Bang, Pow, Boom.
Yeah.
So they like visited the carnival or whatever.
Well, ICP rented Theater Bizarre, and I remember at the time, the people who ran Theater Bizarre were like, "Yeah, we took the money, but
there was trepidation to say the least."
Yeah, because like ICP hadn't kind of come around yet in the eyes of because ICP's on this kind of like love kick right now, where everyone's like, you guys are legends. You did all this DIY. You're fucking legends of the game. You're ICP, iconic. The Juggalos are to be respected.
But it wasn't always like that.
Oh no, especially in Detroit, it was like
it was pretty brutal.
Yeah, they thought like a lot of people consider ICP to be a fucking like scab on the city, But really? right now, I would say Ted Nugent and Kid Rock are way worse scabs because ICP stands for accepting people from all walks of life. They're tolerant. They're like, dare I say, I don't know they're with
avant-garde, and I don't know.
No, they are avant-garde.
I was like avant-garde,
but they're with it.
Dare I say?
Like
I don't know.
ICP gets it. They understand. They wrote a song in 1992 which is called "Fuck Your Rebel Flag," which is about straight up just killing rednecks. I mean, chicken hunting is about killing rednecks. They're anti-racist. They're anti-hate.
I think it's cool. I mean, I've only
They hate
listened,
cops.
Yeah, they fucking hate cops.
I've only listened
We got
to
a
ICP.
cop, we got a judge, and we got a redneck. So step the fuck up and play the Joker's wild.
Yeah.
You know?
And I only listened to them when we were like pretty much making our trek to live here, and we were like coming up on Michigan, and we're like, let's put on ICP, and that's like the first time I heard them, and I'm like, this is so good. Like,
I played her
I've never
Carnival of
heard it.
Carnage. We were driving, the 3.5 LA, that drive.
And that one song, like, bitch, you a hoe.
Yeah, that's Redneck
and
Hoe.
You a bitch. Like, dude, that shit's so
Redneck Hoe.
funny. Where was I on this? Like, I was sleeping on
You
it.
weren't in the Midwest. That's your problem.
I swear.
I liked them. I was a fan of ICP when I was in middle school, like everybody was, because I was like, they're fucking clowns that are gonna kill you, and I was like, that's
yeah.
excellent. I love that shit. And then I just kind of, I like grew up a little and grew into different tastes, and I forgot about it. So then I got asked to perform at the gathering of the Juggalos, and all my friends were like, "No, don't do it."
Yeah, tell us about this.
What?
All my friends were like, "Don't do that. You're not gonna like it." And I was like, "Why?" Like, I used to love them. Like when I was a kid, I still, I still know the jams and everything. And so I was like, yeah, we'll do that. I'll do that. And like, it didn't pay very much, but I was just like, it'll be fun, like whatever. We're just doing sideshow shit. And I had this character called Firehouse Jones that was like a cantankerous old man. And so like, I like learned a bunch of songs on an acoustic guitar, like chicken hunting and stuff. And I went up and I had a tooth blacked out, and stuff. And I went up with an acoustic guitar, and I was going to do the song Chicken Hunting. And so we were scheduled for 2 shows a day every day of the festival. So the first show was supposed to be like a vaudeville comedy show. And then the second show would be at night, and that would be like a fire intensive circus thing. And so like the first day that we went to go do the like vaudeville comedy thing, like they didn't like it at all. They didn't get it. And when they saw me come up with a tooth blacked out,
Oh no.
with an acoustic guitar, and I was about to do the song Chicken Hunting, but I didn't even get it out. They're like, "Chicken Hunt him!" And they started throwing shit at me.
Oh no.
Oh shit.
And I'm not talking about like Faygo. I'm talking about like throwing liquor bottles filled with gravel, like lethal instruments.
So
of
did you
death.
just start? Did you run? Like,
Well, no, they broke my guitar, and I'd never been in a
Oh, shit.
situation like that. So I was like, well, I'm gonna like try to like get them. Like once they see what I'm doing, they'll think it's funny, and they just did not think it was funny. So it's like raining bullshit,
Damn.
rocks, fucking everything. And so I was like, well, I just didn't. I couldn't. In the moment, I couldn't comprehend it. I kicked a dude in the face.
Oh my god.
Like, yeah, it was crazy. I was out of my mind. And so then we kept just rotating the people on stage doing like their little vaudeville things. And I remember my friend was doing a burlesque thing, and we had to like stand up there and like swat stuff out of the air before it hit her. And so then I forget who it was, but somebody went over to the sound engineer and was like, just play ICP music. We're like, forget the whole show. And it was dark enough in the circus tent that we could do fire. And so I really felt like these people were trying to fucking kill us.
Wow.
And they were chanting, "You fucked up. You fucked up. You fucked up." They were chanting that. Like, can you make like fucking like 500 people are chanting that.
That's insane.
And we're just like, what the fuck? I'd never seen anything like it. So like went over to the sound guy, was like, just put on ICP music, anything. And then we just did freestyle fire spinning on the stage. And then everyone's like, yeah. And they loved it. So at the end of the show, because it was an hour fucking show.
Goddamn.
It's so long.
Yo.
And so they came up, and they were at the end of this show, they're chanting "family, family." And I'm just like so confused. I'm so fucking confused.
So abusive. Oh my god.
Yeah.
For real.
And I was like,
But when your
You're like,
family
wait,
now,
you like me now?
when Downtown Brown opened for ICP, we got the family chant early on, but by the end of it, they were chanting "fuck this shit."
Oh, really?
So it was like the opposite.
He has the
Right.
video of it
Yeah,
on
it
YouTube.
was
It's
the
fucking
opposite.
funny. That video's funny.
It was the opposite.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
yeah, it was crazy. I didn't know what to think. So then, like, when people came up to us afterwards, our show also got canceled because someone, I won't say the names of the people, it was the year that Tila Tequila got attacked.
I was just thinking about that.
Ah.
Yeah.
And one of the MC may or may not have encouraged everyone to attack Tila Tequila. I thought what they said was funny, but like it was clearly a joke. But we didn't know how far these people would go.
What was the joke?
Okay, so we were all understand that we were like adrenaline like a motherfucker, right? And so our MC came out, and you know, my memory on this might be a little skewed because it was a long time ago, but Gallagher was on that year. Tila Tequila was on that year. And so our MC came out and was like, what the fuck is this festival? What the fuck just happened? And he's like, Juggalos, you having a good time? And they're like, whoop, whoop. He's like, you know, he's like, I want to see every Juggalo. Like, he's like, what the fuck is Gallagher doing here? I want to see every Juggalo worth their weight in Faygo, like, smash the belly of a pregnant Juggalette. Like, or something like, it's some weird shit, like, referencing Gallagher smashing things. I don't know.
Yeah.
And then he was like, I want to see every Juggalo throw shit at Tila Tequila. Fuck her. Why is she here? It was something like that. And at the time, it worked with the crowd. But it so happened that Tila Tequila's tour manager was in the audience. And so they called security on us and had us, like, they tried to escort us out shit. Right off the stage. They were trying to, like, get us onto, like, golf carts to make us leave. And they were just going to drop us off at the gate. And so I, like, you know, I, like, negotiated with them where I was like, listen, I want to leave. Like, I want nothing more than to fucking leave. Yeah. And I was like, trust me, like, I'll get my crew. Just let us get our stuff and we'll leave. And they're like, okay, because they were just going to take us right to the gate and leave us at the gate. Yeah. And I was like, let us get our stuff, man. I was like, I don't want to be here.
It sounds like so much. Like, it would be like overwhelming.
It was overwhelming. I was confused.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they let us go get our stuff and they were like, don't go near a stage. So they took our shows away. But then our crew was like, no, we want the paycheck. We got to get the shows back. And the whole time I was like, no, we go home. I'll pay for the gas. I don't care. Like, wow. So we ended up staying. We ended up getting the show back because all the Juggalos heard that there was a show that got canceled for being like too much. And like, they were like, fuck that. That's why we're here. And so they would go to the circus tent and like chant like Detroit Fire Guild or whatever the fuck it was at the time. And so we ended up getting the show back because Juggalos kept showing up and chanting for us. And we got the show back. And the Juggalos were like, you guys gave us everything we wanted. Like, you did shit that we didn't like, so we got to throw stuff at you. And then you did shit that we like, which ruled. You did a perfect show. And I was just like, I hate you. I fucking hate you.
Wow.
So, like, I was, like, traumatized by that. And I came home, you know, finally got home. I got arrested on the way home. I got charged with, like, possession of marijuana on the way home.
In Ohio?
In Hardin County, Illinois.
Oh, geez.
The cops pulled us over and they we all got like wasted the last day because it was just so much. We did our last show and then we just partied with the Juggalos, and then I started to love the Juggalos. And so I was like doing shots out of like weird paper towel contraptions that they'd made. And I'm just like, I love you. I don't care. Yeah. All's good. It's all's forgiven. Like, I get it now. So like we're all passed out and like the driver of the van got lost, like in some backwoods thing, and we got pulled over by all these cops. And so we're all like in Juggalo paint, like drunk. And they're like, what are all these weapons in your car? And we were like, no. And I was like, listen, we're not even Juggalos. Like, we're I was like, I know this is gonna sound crazy, but like, we're not even Juggalos.
I'm not a Juggalo.
We're actually professional circus entertainers, and these are our tools. And they were like, show us then.
Oh shit.
So they made us get out of the car and they make us do a fire show for them.
Oh my God.
And we did a whole fucking fire show for them, wasted in the middle of the woods. And all these cops keep showing up and they circle around us with their cop cars with the lights on. And we're like doing a show in the middle of the woods. God. And then meanwhile, they searched the car and found my dugout, which didn't even have weed in it. Just like a little dust.
Right.
And then after the whole fire show, they were like, okay, whose weed is this? And I didn't think it would be a big deal, especially after a whole free fucking show. And then they still wrote me a ticket for it. Wow. And they were going to take me to jail. They were going to take me to jail unless I gave them $100 in cash deposit on the charge. And I was like, oh, thank God they're dirty cops. They're going to
totally
keep $100. Don't arrest me. Cool. But I didn't have $100 because ICP didn't pay us. So like, so Violent J, if you hear my story, Can I have $100?
Please.
Yeah,
Please.
please.
So yeah, they didn't take me to jail because like somebody else spotted me $100. But I came home like,
Wow.
yeah, it was a whole thing. But I came home and I was like, man, I hated that. And then I just got obsessed with it. I started I started bumping ICP again in the house, and my roommates were like, "Are you okay? Because like you just told us what happened, and now you're listening to like Great Malenko." And I was like, "Yeah, yeah." And I just like got more, and then I started like going to the shows. I went to DC for the rally.
Oh wow,
that was dope. But yeah, so I don't know, like it went from a thing that like I hated into like I go to that shit. I buy tickets now.
yeah. Well,
Interesting. That's cool.
it went from a thing that you enjoyed when you were younger to something that you eventually hated.
Right.
What just fell?
At my phone. Well, it's kind of like you survived it, and like
I survived.
yeah, I survived a gathering.
I survived the gathering of the
Yeah.
Juggalos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm planning on going again to the gathering this year,
That's cool.
just as a patron though.
Damn.
I want to go. Every year.
Imagine if like when they were all throwing shit at you, if you just fucking packed it up and left then, and you would have never had like any of the other amazing experiences that provided. Like
That's true.
it's cool you stuck it out, because it'd be so easy to be like, fuck this, I'm out. And
Yeah.
like it would have never turned around. You would never have known.
That's true.
Which is cool.
In retrospect, that's absolutely true.
Yeah,
Because
so
at the
that's pretty
time I was
crazy.
like, I don't know, any stage if someone starts throwing shit at me, like I don't need that. Peace
Yeah,
out. You know what I mean?
How would you not leave? Like that's so
Yeah.
hard. But
Yeah.
maybe it's a good thing that, you know, it was so long ago, you were probably like in your 20s or something, and you're like, fuck it, I'm gonna stay. And like
Right.
you just had that crazy naivety,
Right.
you know?
Yeah, and it was really the naivety of my peers, because I was trying to leave. But my peers were like, no, we're going to stay and get the show. We're going to get the show back. And I was like, I don't
Nice.
care about this.
Yeah.
That's some can-do attitude shit.
That's cool.
Yeah, no, they were,
It worked out.
you know, they were fun, and they were like dedicated performers too. So I'll give them that.
Damn.
But we were walking around, and people were like, knew who we were. And they were like, you're the people that like, your show was like too much for the gathering. That's crazy. Like, we've never heard of that. You
That's
know?
beautiful.
And they kept going. Like, I remember there's like shit I saw there that I will never unsee. But one of the things was like, some dude like ran up to us and was like, dude, you got to come piss in this watermelon. Like, you got to come over here right now, piss in this watermelon. And I was like, okay, I'm interested. What are we doing? You know? And he's like, come here, just like piss in it. And so he's got this like hollowed out watermelon husk filled with piss. There's a turd in it.
Oh my God.
Floating around, and I was like, you know, I don't gotta pee right now, but like, I don't know what you're doing.
What
but,
are
like,
they doing with
what is
it?
this is amazing. So he's like, we got a t-shirt launcher like thing, like a slingshot. We're gonna fling it at Tila Tequila. And I was like,
Good.
whoa.
Whoa. So
Because I was like, okay, and he showed me the, you know, it's like a slingshot, it's like a rubber band, like pull
Yeah.
thing. And I was like, you know that as soon as you let that go, it's just gonna flip, and you're just gonna get covered in piss and shit.
It's not going to go very far.
It's not gonna go far.
Like a water balloon, or well, we used to have one of those t-shirt launchers, and in 2007 my band would launch cheeseburgers at the audience.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and but those things would go flying because
Yeah.
it's a water balloon launcher. But the thing is a fucking watermelon it's big.
were they just
And-
like
and it's
McDonald's?
oblong.
Was it like McDonald's cheeseburgers, like in the
Yeah.
wrapper?
Yeah, we bought.
That's cool.
Well, they had dollar McDoubles back then.
Yeah.
And we bought like 30 of them, and we were just pissed drunk, and we were in Minnesota, and we were just flinging them at kids. I remember it was an all ages venue.
That'd
and
be
I remember
awesome.
There was a kid on another kid's shoulders, like arms in the air like this, and I remember very vividly just watching the burger like in slow motion just go boom and just bean this kid that was on this other kid's shoulders in the face. And
That's so funny.
and you know, it's one of those things where I look back at it and I'm like, that's kind of dumb. But then I got a YouTube comment, and it read something like, "I'll never forget the band that pelted burgers at the audience."
Dude, if I was in my like late teens, early 20s, and a band pelted burgers into the audience, I would have been so down. That'd have been so
We had fun.
cool.
I was in a band called Bride Stripped Bear
Yeah,
for a minute, and we did like theatrical shit like that.
it was
And
a two-piece, right?
it was a 2-piece. It turned into a 3-piece at some point, but that
Okay.
was toward the end. But we used to do theatrical shit like that. So I built a potato launcher, and we would shoot glitter and jelly dildos out of it.
Oh my God. Dildos, like into the air.
Yeah, like the
Yeah,
jelly
yeah,
ones,
yeah,
you know.
yeah.
But yeah, I could make that. I could shoot them so far that like we were hitting the bar from the stage of the Tangent, And like James, the bartender, would get all mad because there were dildos just like flying in. But yeah, I don't know.
That's awesome.
Similar.
Could
Just
that
dildos.
Not as tasty as burgers, but
yeah.
I mean, could that potentially hurt someone? Like, what's the
Probably.
what's the weight
definitely.
of a jelly dildo?
it could break a bottle probably. I mean, if a bottle
The jelly
falls.
dildos, I mean, I don't know, it's gonna break. It would scare you.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
if you're not paying attention.
It would probably knock stuff over, I would
Yeah.
assume.
Yeah,
You
definitely.
know.
But yeah, we used to have laser beams on our guitars, and I remember buying smoke machines for the sole purpose. Like, we would drag a smoke machine into the venue and be like, we have to have the smoke going so you could see the fucking laser beams when we do the solo. And people fucking loved it. In fact,
cool.
it got to the point where we would go on tour, and when we stopped doing the laser, when we were like, we're just gonna play music, and people would be like, what, no lasers this time? It was like, we opened for the band Human Wine, which is Brian Viglione from Dresden Doll's side project. Are you aware? Do you know who they are?
I know.
Is he canceled too now?
I know Brian
No,
Viglione,
I know.
Right.
but I don't know the other band.
I don't
But
think
anyway,
he's canceled.
it was like his side project. So I remember I walked up to him, and I didn't know who he was because I didn't know. Like, it was 2006. I was drunk all the time, and I'm like, "Hey, are you the sound dude?" And it's like, it's Brian Viglione from the Dresden Dolls, and I'm just like, okay. And it's just so funny because we opened up for like a cabaret kind of like artsy band, and we're up there playing metal riffs with our fucking laser beams. And that's the type of thing. That's the type of thing we did back then. We had no radar or no gauge for like, hey, do we fit? Does this fit? Should we be doing this?
I think it's cool.
I think it's cool, and I think you should do that, and I think it should be encouraged to do that.
Yeah.
Well, we still do it.
I also
Yeah.
want to I want to take back something I said earlier too, because when you mentioned the burger thing, and I said if I was in my late teens and early 20s, I would think that's really cool. I would still think that's cool. Like, I don't think that's just like an immature thing to think that burgers being launched into the crowd is cool. Like, I think it's just cool no matter what age you are.
I think fun is fun.
Yeah.
Definitely.
If you
Like, it's cool.
like I went.
Do it. Do
It's
it.
like definitively cool.
I don't know. I still
Bring it back.
We saw Guar live. It's still fun.
That was fun.
You know, I'm 41 years old. I still. There's a band that came out that does all parody songs, and the band's called My Dick, right? And the band just all the lyrics are "Dick, my dick,"
like Fields of Dick.
yeah, like they do
My
Sting.
dick, my dick,
Yeah.
my whatever.
When my west dick moves
Yeah.
upon the dicks of barley,
Yeah.
my dick,
great.
my dick, my dick, and they do like
It's pretty funny.
they do like Spin Doctors, my dick, my dick, my dick, my dick. Dude, I'm 41 years old. I listened to that shit the other day in the gym of all places. I was dying.
funny.
It was
Whatever
great.
gets you going.
You're like, it's funny.
No, it's funny.
It's funny.
It is funny.
See, I should give them the potato cannon that shoots the dildos.
They need that.
I don't think they play live.
No?
It's just something they put on Bandcamp, and then Seth Rogen shared it on Twitter, and everyone's like, my dick for a
man.
day. They're like, my dick is hilarious.
Seth
I'm like,
Rogen share my dumb shit on Twitter.
Did he?
Come on.
That was a
Shout to the
that was a
universe.
proposal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seth Rogen.
Do y'all know Max Sabbath?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I actually
What
thought
is it?
you were going to say that when you were saying the parody band.
They're touring again.
Cool. I've
This
always
year.
wanted to see them.
I have this really great picture where I think I even freaked out the lead singer because I came in with I went to some diner and I lifted a couple ketchup bottles and I put them in the
Put
back.
the mic a little closer.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
So I went to a diner before the show and I stole a couple ketchup bottles, and so I kind of hid them back here, and I went into the pit just like just spraying ketchup, and everyone's like, "No, what the fuck?" So the whole pit's just covered in ketchup.
That's amazing.
And even the lead singer was just looking at it like, like this, and it kind of ruined the pit for a minute. Because everyone was like grossed out, but then they were like, whatever, fuck it, we're covered in ketchup, we'll get back in the pit. And so I was covered in ketchup, and I have this like great fucking picture that's like where I'm like hugging the lead singer and he's like trying not to touch me.
That's so funny.
I love them. I'm gonna do that again.
So I found out about Max Sabbath because I went to go see Ozzy at the Forum in LA, and there was a guy handing out flyers for Max Sabbath after the show, and I thought that was like such a cool way to like spread the word.
Oh, yeah.
Because instantly I was like, I want to see this.
And then we went and saw him and left.
We were supposed to see them, but then I saw a guy who I'm pretty sure wants to murder me, so we left before he saw me because I saw him first. And we had to leave.
We were walking, it was in Santa Ana, right?
Santa Ana at the observatory.
Allie's like, we got to go.
And I was like, oh, I finally get to go see Mac Sabbath. But then like, yeah, I like spotted like an ex-friend who like, I swear to God, saying it here, if I ever get murdered, Sean did it. So we saw this guy, Sean.
Don't mention his name.
That's so people
No, everyone
know.
needs to know it
Everyone
was
needs to
Sean.
know.
Okay, all right.
If I ever get murdered and it's a mystery, it's Sean. Sean killed me.
What's his last name?
Whiting. Is that okay to
Sean
say?
Whiting.
Is that okay to make that much?
This
I don't
also,
know, is it?
I think this works as insurance that Sean Whiting does not kill you.
Yeah.
Because he's right now the main suspect in your potential murder.
100%. 100%. So I spot him walking in the venue and I just go
Name
up to
dropping.
Neil and I'm like, we have to fucking go. And we left and I still haven't seen Mac Sabbath. So.
Well, they're coming. We actually applied to be on that tour. What's it called? They submitted us and they said no. But I know the two bands that are playing. It's funny.
That's so lame.
You know what's funny is that you're bringing this up. I actually, like, part of my depressed day yesterday was going online and seeing the Mac Sabbath tour announced and knowing that we could have done that whole nationwide tour if they would have picked us, but they didn't.
So lame. I wish they picked you.
But this is the thing is I need to. I microdosed on psilocybin today because I'm trying to pull myself out of this depressive, constant comparison thing that I do where I look at everyone else on social media and it seems like even though everything's fucked and we're at war and we're still in a pandemic and yada yada, everyone's having fun but me is what my brain tells me.
Yeah.
Yeah. It looks like you're having a great time.
Yeah, but you know what? Like I am having a great time, but I also am depressed. And I also, I also compare myself to people and
High
like,
five.
Like they're getting what I want and I hate that, kind of that kind of shit. You got to work through it. That's all. I think everyone feels that way. I mean, I've heard that said about social media in general, like from a lot of people. So like, I share the fun moments because like, why the fuck would I share the depressing moments?
Some people just share the depressing shit.
Yeah. And like good on them. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But like if I'm having a depressing moment, I probably find it personally boring. So I you know what I mean? I wouldn't probably share it with the world because I'm like, well, if I find this boring, why would anyone else find it interesting?
Yeah.
So like, you share your excitement
Allie,
sometimes.
How boring is my depression?
Yeah. I don't know. It's not boring. You're not.
Oh, you think it's exciting?
Yes, it excites me.
Oh, you like it?
Yeah,
I
it's
love
fun.
it.
It's fun.
It's
Yeah,
fun for you? Am I a depressed clown for you?
Yeah, am I a depressed clown? Is it funny? No, I understand you suffer with depressive episodes and comparisons. And I think that it would help if you did get off social media on those days because I feel like that's a big trigger. And for me, I don't have depression, but
She's normal.
I'm not normal. I have ADHD, and I have other learning disabilities, but whenever
She's not normal.
whenever I used to actually compare myself to other people, especially when I was like really pursuing performance, I actually unfollowed them. Like, cause I didn't want to see their feed because it would make me feel weird, like other women who are successful in performance, I would just unfollow because I don't want to fucking see it, and it really helped. Like it really helped.
But I want to be a gracious supporter of my peers, because honestly, I'm at this weird point where the people who are getting these opportunities are people I know in a weird way. Like I said about the Mac Sabbath thing, I know both of those bands that got on it. And so I'm like, all right, be happy for them. But then there's a part of me that's like, we submitted. Are we not good enough? Is my 20 years of work not good enough?
Yeah, but I mean, who knows why they didn't choose Downtown Brown? It's definitely not because they're not a good band. Your band is excellent. No one that's ever seen you can say otherwise.
Yeah.
But there's so many reasons that are beyond your control about why someone else might get picked.
Absolutely.
Totally.
How many times have you organized a show and you had to pick certain opening acts and you had to exclude other acts that I'm sure you would have loved to have on, but you had your reasons.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, all the time.
It's so
You know what
easy
I mean? It's
to.
the same thing. You can't take it personally.
Yeah, it's so easy to like internalize it. But if you've ever cast for something and you have like pages of people who submit for a casting, you just say no to everybody except for one person. So it's like everyone tries to be like, oh, is my headshot not good enough? Am I not pretty enough? Am I not skinny enough? Am I not tall enough? It's like, no, none of that fucking matters. It was just we went with someone else.
Yeah.
So it's hard.
And they might have even just made the decision before they even like really regarded your thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think ultimately what it comes down to is
It's hard not to take it personally.
Well, what I do is I internalize all of the rejection I had when I was a child. And anytime I get even slightly rejected as an adult, I'm like, oh, it's more of that thing that I got when I was younger and more of that feeling of I'm not good enough. But we don't have to get into this. We're having fun.
No, I think it is. I think it's interesting to get into it. And I think it's because here's the thing. You can self-assess that much right now. Mm-hmm. So on those depressive days, if you can self-assess that much, that's when you put the phone down. That's
a good point. I feel like you lack the ability to self-assess logically on the depressing days.
Oh, yesterday I just kept looking. I would just go from TikTok to Facebook to Instagram.
Yeah.
Because I'm booking a tour is the excuse I give Allie.
It was, yeah. And I said I figured.
Right now I have to be online. I don't know. Do I need to be on fucking 4 social media apps to book a tour?
That's what I thought. I was like, like, I'm booking a tour.
Definitely
I'm like on
not.
TikTok. Like,
Yep.
like, what are you doing?
You can't book a tour on TikTok.
But then, so is that like a depression thing? Maybe you guys would know. Like when
Yes,
you're
we're
depressed, you can't logic your way out of the situation until the depression is gone.
Sometimes.
You said to let it pass. It's just like a feeling.
You know, if you can catch it, but sometimes like, you know, I don't know how yours works, but mine, like I get into a little cycle of like, you know, like this causes this, which causes this, which is the result of my rejection or whatever. And I can't stop thinking about it. And I can't stop maybe blaming someone for it and then blaming myself for it. And then that's the cycle that gets you. And then like to me, like it doesn't, there's no some result to it. It just cycles into things that I'm upset about, that I hate, that I'm not good enough for, that like, and then you can't let it go.
Wow.
And then you're just like kind of crippled by that.
What happens is it like, I agree, it becomes an obsessive cycle where you start obsessing over the cycle and it's like it perpetuates. It just like you described it beautifully. Because
sounds scary.
It is scary, but the thing is when you've been living with it long enough, it gets to a point where you're like, oh, this again. And that's why yesterday, when you're like trying to make me feel better and you're being all nice to me, and I'm like, listen, like none of this is gonna work.
Yeah. You're like, it's not working.
I'm just gonna eat this weed and eat this melatonin and just become a zombie and pass out early. And I woke up this morning and I felt better.
Yeah.
But sometimes the cycle, like you wake up and you're still in the cycle.
Yeah.
You know, and that was like during the pandemic when you and I were having issues, Allie, and I had lost hope. I woke up every morning, I'm like, what's the fucking point of life if this is what it is? We're literally prisoners inside of this apartment. The world is on fire outside of us. People are getting shot in our front yard, and we're paying a lot of money to be here. And I couldn't, and you've brought up before, you've been like, well, shouldn't me being involved in your life have been this good thing you concentrate on? When you get in that obsessive cycle of depression, all you can think about is the bad shit.
Yeah.
And you were right there. You're like supportive. You love me. Like we have a good thing going on, yada, yada. But I wasn't noticing that. I was just thinking about how life was fucking pointless. You know?
Yeah.
And obsessing over it until it like I pretty much hit a wall where you're like, listen, motherfucker, like you better fix this shit or I'm out.
I did say that.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Sometimes that helps, as harsh as it sounds. You know, I've had friends give me ultimatums before that are like, get your shit together or this ends.
Yeah.
You know, and that usually would lead me to getting my shit together.
And he did. Yeah. And you needed to. It wasn't just for me, but you have to, like, anyone who suffers from any sort of like mental anguish has to realize that their partner suffers because of like how close they are to them.
Well, it was selfish.
So,
Ultimately, it was selfish because here I was thinking about how life was meaningless to me.
Yeah.
But yet I was cohabitating with a person who didn't think life was meaningless. And in fact, my existence gave their life some sort of meaning.
Yeah.
So ultimately,
and I want to see you happy. Like, you know, like anyone.
Good luck.
Yeah. No, like anyone like in a healthy relationship wants their partner to like be happy and be flourishing, you know? So like I was like, if you're not gonna try to fucking fix your shit. Like, I gotta go because I can't be around you anymore, you know? And you're like, I'm gonna fucking fix my shit. And then you literally have been working on it really hard, and I'm really happy for
I don't
you.
know about
So
you,
thank
Allie, but all I want is a subservient yes person for a partner. That's it.
I mean, I say yeah to everything pretty much.
No, that was a joke.
You're like, yeah, sure.
That was a joke. You do not say yes. You tell me all the time.
What?
You tell me like, don't go out wearing that. You look stupid.
Okay. That needs to be said sometimes because you like want to wear like some dad fucking
Pajamas.
shoes. Yeah. No, Neil, you've become more stylish.
I guess I've leveled up
since we've started dating.
Yeah.
I think for me, the pandemic was interesting for my depression because it was a little bit relieving where everything in that moment was certifiably not my fault.
Yeah.
Like I didn't do that.
That's
and
a good
it's
point.
way out of my control. So like everything that, that I would usually get depressed about all of a sudden was not my fault.
Yes.
So that actually like kind of relieved a little bit of like anxiety that I would usually have.
Yeah.
I thought that was interesting.
Mark Maron, I was listening to him a lot, and he said the pandemic was the great equalizer.
Yeah.
Because everybody who is performing or not, it just leveled everybody.
Right.
And now we're all in the same boat where nobody's doing shit.
Right.
So like, what is there to be freaking out about at the moment?
Well,
And I was
actually-
like, damn.
I actually did a lot artistically. And
I think we did too, yeah.
I found niche places where my art fits better than where I was trying to put it before, like kind of like what you were saying earlier, like you were doing, big laser shows before the Dresden Dolls or whatever.
It didn't fit.
Yeah, sometimes it doesn't fit, and I think you should try, and I think you should like do that kind of stuff. But like, I've been doing that for a while, and like, my current band Crune doesn't necessarily fit in a lot of places, so it forced us to find niche places where it fits. And we were doing like small private concerts that we considered like psychedelic chamber music for like 20 people at a time. So that kind of thing. So I never would have tried doing that before. And so, I mean, now we do that, like, and it's cool.
Interesting.
Because we always would have been trying to like chase the bigger venues and chasing like, bigger audience numbers and stuff. And now I'm like, I don't care about that.
It's not necessarily better. Yeah, I mean, this fucking podcast used to be in a van, and that was the whole thing. And then I had to teach myself how to do all this fucking camera shit. Switching, yada yada.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, before the pandemic, I was just
Oh, Allie has a good story.
before the pandemic, I was just I moved back from New York, and I was just like waiting tables and kind of doing that and ignoring myself creatively. And then the pandemic happened, and same thing with like, I love being a dumb bitch. I made my friend a candle, and then she was like, you should sell these. Because they're like these customizable saint candles. And yeah, Neil's got his right there. And yeah.
Andrew WK, he disabled his Instagram there you go. Some months ago.
Yeah.
Here's Allie's self-portrait.
Whoa, is he okay? Is he not partying?
I don't think he's partying.
Oh shit.
He got engaged or married to Kat Dennings, the actress.
And he has this candle of himself right now.
No way.
Yes, because their film crew basically like hired me to make their like TV show, like rap party, all candles of the celebrities that were on that show.
Oh, cool.
So I made one of Kat Dennings, and they wanted one of like her dude. So like he has that candle, I guess. He probably has
rules.
it. Yeah. I don't have any proof that he has it, but it probably is in his home.
I think he's
Which is crazy.
I think he's okay because what's wild is he got like mad ripped, like insanely jacked before, and he was posting like just he always gets really weird on his Insta.
Yeah.
But he was getting weirder. Like a lot of I don't
Like
even,
too deep. Like you're just like, this is too, it became like Facebook venting.
No, he wasn't venting. He's always been weird. If you watch his DVD from 2003, Andrew
Okay.
WK has always been weird. But he just got like in really good shape and ultra weird and like married and put out an album and then disappeared.
Huh.
So
I mean, I guess
that
maybe
sounds
that's
great.
good. Yeah, I was gonna say. I was like, that's the dream.
I honestly think he's probably doing fine, and he just is like, fuck all this shit.
Hell yeah.
I don't need to do this anymore.
I wanna do that.
I'm wifed up with a famous actress. I'm like in the best shape of my life. You know, I'm Andrew.
Got a little bit of
WK.
money.
I partied
yeah.
for like
Got this sick candle.
Yeah, fuck all y'all.
He partied for like 21 years straight.
So he partied,
partied.
so much.
And then he just disappeared.
He partied at the gathering of the Juggalos.
Yeah, he did. They threw shit at him.
The video's on YouTube.
It is.
And I think it's interesting because it's a testament to like how much they love to throw shit at people. And like they're like you can see like what looks like maybe it's a Patron bottle that like hits him in the head.
Oh my God.
And he like he almost like takes a knee and he gets back up. And then the security guard, you can see this on the YouTube video. Security guard comes up and just takes his microphone away. And they cut the show.
Whoa.
And it's like, what's going on here? So the security guards that I was talking to after I got shit thrown at me, similarly, were like, yeah, no, they do that. They kind of, you know, hire people that they know that the Juggalos are going to like brutalize off the stage because like they just love that shit.
Wow.
Yeah.
Honestly, if Andrew WK had his full band, then it would have been a different thing. Because I remember I saw an interview with Violent J where he said he was doing his solo thing. It was just like him and a backing track, you know?
Yeah.
And I feel like if it was his full band,
Yeah.
it would have gone over better.
Yeah.
Okay, you know what's kind of weird? This is all coming full circle. So
Yeah, it's full circle.
that Aussie show I saw at the forum where I found out about Max Sabbath, Andrew WK opened
DJ set.
Oh, wow.
DJ set, and I feel like it was weird. Like everyone was kind of like, okay,
Andrew WK did a DJ set?
yeah. And it was
how
like,
was
it was fucking weird. Like everyone was just like, where's Aussie?
Yeah, what's the point of that?
Yeah, it was so weird. It was like, everybody get your beer during this. Like, just like, you know, talk to everyone around you, get beer. Okay, when's Aussie coming out? I was like, what a strange opener.
Was he talking at all? Andrew
No, he
WK?
was just like fucking, you know.
So he just was there.
Yeah,
What
just
kind
like
of music did he play?
I was fucking talking and getting beer. I have no idea.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I feel like the vibe was just like, okay, so it's like an intermission, I guess.
Interesting.
So weird. But yeah, I wanted to actually ask you guys something because being on the West Coast when that show happened with Tila Tequila and all that, I heard about it, but I was so far separated from everything that was going on with ICP and Midwest music culture. What happened to Tila Tequila? Like, why was it so bad? How come we heard about it across the map too?
Okay, so this,
Because it was assault, dude.
What happened?
I was there and it was fucking crazy. So like I was saying, the Juggalos throw shit at people. Like they will fucking throw everything. And like I was saying, just from personal experience, they had like empty glass liquor bottles filled with gravel, like on deck to be throwing. And so, you know, like you can YouTube this also. You can YouTube the Tila Tequila attack. I don't think it had anything to do with our act, even though like our MC said what he said. And the reason I don't think that is because like they do this already. This is like a pattern of behavior at the gathering. So she came on and I guess, you know, she's kind of a patronizing, like no one likes this person anyway kind of thing. And her music sucks. And so they had her on this night that was supposed to be like ladies' night. And I forget who the other performers were, but the other performers were like loved musicians. And she came out and it was kind of like an insult to the night musically. And so it kind of seemed like there was already a like, fuck this, you know, kind of like attitude. So it started as people were throwing shit in a normal Juggalo amount. And then she said something that kind of like seemed a little like smart to a person. And then that person, some people started chanting like, show your tits, and she just like did, and then everyone just started really throwing shit at her.
Damn.
And I think it was like you should not have like did what they said, because now they think that like they're in control of you kind of situation. So now she's up there topless and it's just raining shit. And so at this point, the security guards come out, much like I was saying that I was doing, and they're trying to knock bottles out of the air before they hit her. This goes on and on until they finally cut the show. And they're like, okay, you're not even performing. We're just dodging litter.
Yeah.
And so
the watermelon full of pee and poo.
You know,
I wonder if that made it on there.
No, I've scoured the YouTube video for that watermelon full of shit. But so then this is where it gets crazy. So I don't know if they've improved this, but there's not a lot of security at the gathering. And there definitely was not enough for her in this occasion. So they took her backstage, and the Juggalos followed backstage and continued the harassment.
Whoa.
So they had to hide in the green room, which is like one of those like little trailers, you know, like the rent a like shitty trailer. So they had to like empty off the catering tables and put them up against the windows because people were like trying to break in the windows. So finally, when the people like went away from that and they felt like they got bored enough of that, they like rushed her into an SUV and took her out. But there were still Juggalos waiting, and they like broke the windows out of the SUV and shit until she finally got to the hospital.
Holy shit. We should drop that.
And she had to go, and she also had to go to the hospital.
Wow.
Because so much, like, she had to have like facial reconstructive surgery.
like
Oh my
hit her.
God, so she was like injured.
Can we?
Yeah.
Is that copyright, or can we drop that clip? Like
We can
in
do
this
what we
episode?
want.
And then you should drop that clip of those kids yelling at Downtown Brown during the gathering.
We can do that.
Insert both clips.
Well, the Downtown Brown clip was from opening for them in Toledo.
Oh,
And when we played the gathering, I did get hit with rocks, but it was really weird because it was like 4 a.m. They were like, the Juggalos were like too tired to be pissed at us, but there was still
Like,
some shit. I was getting hit with some stuff.
But you were getting hit with a normal amount of rocks for 4 a.m.
yeah.
that's so crazy. That's fucking so funny.
Yeah.
Those are some-
I'd
those
do
are
it
some good
again.
stories.
I'd do it again.
It's psycho. Yeah, I enjoy that the Juggalos are coming up on a love tip right now, but like I won't forget.
Yeah.
I won't forget that. And I won't forget like my friends that have like worked in theaters where they played and been like, someone took a shit in the plant. You know what I mean? Like there's reasons why there was like, you know. Yeah.
That's funny.
I'm still whoop whoop, but I'm about it. So
Hell yeah.
But there are reasons.
Nice. So when's your next show? Like, when is like this cool sort of little...
It's been hard to book stuff right now. I have not been able to have a solid booking. I'm doing a solo show at the Sound House in Hamtramck on April 16th.
Okay.
Which will be interesting, like theremin synthesizer kind of thing. And there's a cellist, and there's like, it'll be kind of, like I said, like psychedelic chamber music kind of situation. But my band Crune, we don't even have any dates right now. Because we've been trying to book a couple Detroit dates and a couple like touring dates, and just like no one's getting back to us right now, which puts me in that fucking tailspin like we were talking about, where I'm just like, do they not like us anymore? And then I got to be like, no, they like you.
Well, it's weird because
shit's whack right now.
It is. It's odd. It's weird. Things are weird. But I'm at a position where we have like touring history in every major market in the United States, and we've toured with all these big bands, and I throw all that out there, and I still get ghosted. You know, and it's weird because, I mean, ultimately, it doesn't matter if you've opened for a bunch of famous people. Like, how many tickets can you sell? Like, if we book your band, what are you worth as far as numbers is concerned? And ultimately, that's the name of the game. And I just have to accept that that's the music industry. And, you know, I'm a 41-year-old dude in a pretty obscure, like, weird punk band from Detroit that has done some cool shit, but it doesn't necessarily mean that if I send an email to promoter Joe in Bangor, Maine, that they're going to be like, fuck yeah, we'll give you $700. You know, it's just,
Right.
We're like knocking on small doors and being like, please, can you let us set up our instruments? Please, I swear we're good.
Yeah, we'll take free drink tickets.
And the most frustrating thing is this is 20 years into doing this. And you would think that if you dedicate your entire life to being a performer and an artist, and you write all these albums, the idea, at least the idea that was put in my head back in the day, was you get in a van and it just steadily grows. And I just had a conversation on last week's podcast about this. What if it shrinks? You know, that's a thing. Like, my buddy has a gold record in Germany, but he's doing venues. He's doing the smallest venues he's ever done in his whole career right now. But ultimately, I think that's what separates people that are doing it for success. I said ultimately like 5 times. But doing it for success, like with the people that are doing it because they're genuinely passionate about performing and art. And I think the pandemic had a lot to do with that too. I think a lot of the people who consider themselves musicians or whatever, and they still needed to connect with humans and perform, they found a way to do it even with the constraints of the pandemic. I was live streaming 3 or 4 days a week, which is a whole weird thing that I don't even want to get into. I don't know if it's weird because instead of actual smiles, it's a fucking chat, you know?
Yeah.
And emotes.
Oh, it's really weird. I only did one.
It's totally weird.
I only did one live stream. And yeah, it was cool to see all the little like fire emojis coming up.
Fire emojis.
You know, and like I was like, okay, well they like it, but just the reality of it was too weird. And I need the circuitry of you know, the response.
Yeah.
There's a give and take in a live performance with the audience, and if your audience is a bunch of blips and bloops and ones and zeros on a screen, it doesn't hit the same.
When you were streaming a lot in our basement apartment in Long Beach, and then like you walked out of the room and I like did my thing, I was just like kind of like, hey guys.
Oh, when you would hop on the stream?
Yeah, it was weird. And I'm usually like not bad at filling in between songs or talking.
She's a good performer.
Thanks.
Yeah, but there's an there's an element to the live stream.
But it's fucking weird. It's
It
like
is,
this hollow silence that you don't like. You don't get that in a venue where you hear clinking and talking and it's cool and there's like an atmosphere. With this, you're just like, you only hear your own breath in your headphones, and then you just have to read comments, and it's very interesting. You almost have to like keep this steady stream of like talking the entire time or noise, so you don't feel like this emptiness. And Neil's good at filling the space, but when I did it by myself with you out of the room, I was like, this is fucking weird.
It's like
weird.
It's like the song ends and there's no applause. You're just like,
yeah. And then like my songs are like, these are supposed to be funny, and like no one's laughing.
no one's laughing.
Like I can't hear any laughter. I'm like,
yeah, exactly.
You know, like these are like jokey songs. I'm like, are they laughing? So weird.
And that's where you get into this like flow state where you're just essentially masturbating. You're just like I'm on this loop machine, you know, making stupid noises, and that's it.
Yeah.
And you just hope people are enjoying it.
And they might be.
You're like, this guy's jerking
Or maybe
off
they
great.
like silenced you and they're like watching Netflix now.
Yeah, I did that to a lot of people.
Yeah, you're just like, boop.
Yeah, well, you know, because like I wanted my friends to feel supported, but I also like I don't want to watch your weird
You're
dance
like,
party
mute.
right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't get. I'm not in the mood to listen to like, you know, that particular DJ's music right now. But I want them to know that I'm supporting.
I'm
so
like in the room.
I would turn the camera off.
Yeah.
And just like go watch TV.
Are you talking about like Zoom parties?
Yeah.
That's funny.
That's even the Zoom party is even more terrifying. I remember I was doing remote yoga classes and everyone has their camera on, and I would just always just have my camera off, sound off. I didn't
left the mic on.
I don't want to interact with the teacher. I don't want to interact with the other student. I don't want to tell people how I'm doing. I just am in my underwear, sweating with the camera off.
Yeah.
And that was fucking weird, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
What's weird is I'm more comfortable in a room in short shorts sweating if there's 40 people in there than I am in my own house with a computer with people that are sweating on Zoom. I don't know why. That's less comfortable for me.
Yeah.
I'd rather be surrounded by sweating humans. I don't know why. Maybe I've just become accustomed to that.
Nesta. Well, I wish I could see your show on the 16th. I'm out of town, but I do want to see Crune or your solo project. I really do. I stalk your Instagram and I'm like, I want to fucking see this. I always like see the stories and I'm like, this looks cool. I really want to be there. And I feel like I always miss it. So yeah, when I'm in town, I'm going to come to the next one.
Well, I'll keep you updated for sure. That's cool. It's a very unique experience. It's not, you know, it comes from a lot of like failing at getting what I want out of a venue experience. It comes from like, you know, like what Crune is. It's a lot of, it's like dance beats, but with like, you know, very cool ritual elements to like how the show is set up. And people go really crazy in it. You know, they go into like ecstatic dance and stuff. And it's meant to be very like cathartic experience. You know, it's, you know, so it kind of rides the line between like a techno show that's like fairly egoless, like there's no like lead singer of the thing, you know. But you know, there are songs with structures, so it kind of rides that line between like being able to like, you know, experience some amount of ego loss, while there's still like structure and storytelling going on. Cool. So it's cool.
And there's a theremin, which is
there's
cool.
a theremin and a violin,
which is always that's really cool too. Yeah. That's
yeah.
Awesome. Go while I'm gone.
I may. I have to start doing things.
You have to start getting out. Gotta get out.
Yeah, you were the first person we saw when we moved here. We went.
Oh yeah, Target.
Target, yeah.
We came to Target, And we had just driven 3,400 miles with a fucking bunk U-Haul trailer that may have become detached. They told when I returned it, they're like, this may have come detached. It was about this many threads ready to come off of your vehicle.
Oh, Jesus.
But the first person we saw in Madison Heights. No, was it Warren? Is that Madison Heights or Warren?
It was Warren.
I think it's Warren. On DeQuinder.
It was that big Target.
Oh, yeah, because I don't even remember why I was there. I was just doing weird quarantine stuff.
Like trying to just get out.
Yeah, I'm just like gonna go to Target. I mean, I needed underwear or something, you know. But it was funny that we ran into each other because it's not a place I would usually be. Like there are closer Targets to my house.
Right.
I was just like, I don't know. I'm in this one today. I don't know.
Yeah.
And now we're starting to open up this little studio thing, podcast thing. We're gonna have more guests in here, and we're gonna have you in here to perform.
Yeah.
At some point.
Hell yeah.
I'm trying to make more stuff and be more. What's the word about it?
Creative.
Not diligent. When you're
Inspired.
No. What's the word when you do something episodically or you do something on a schedule?
Congruent.
No. There's a word for it. Consistent.
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 I was halfway there.
I'm going to be more consistent
Nice.
with my output. This is episode 76 of the podcast. You have to go to work, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. What time is it?
Our sushi table got
6:25.
called too. We missed our sushi
Oh,
spot.
I have to be there at 7:30, so we're good. But
cool.
But yeah, wrap it up if you want. I don't know.
Well, okay, so best memes in the game on Instagram.
Yes.
Yeah.
For real. We're always like, haha.
At Whoa Goth Boobs, right?
Yeah. Whoa_goth_boobs.
Whoa_goth_boobs.
Yeah.
Wow.
And if you want to learn about the
boobs.
music, you can go to @_Crune_. And if you want a dumb bitch t-shirt, you can go to I don't even remember. I have too many things going on. What is it called?
Dumb bitch
I think it's
clothing?
called dumb bitch clothes. I don't know.
Just type it in Google. You'll find it.
Yeah.
Okay, so but it's not on dumb bitch clothes are not on Instagram.
It is on Instagram. I after I talked to the metaverse consultant on the phone, they told me that so they did fix it a little bit. They fixed it so that I can still post, but I am not allowed to connect my online store, and I'm not allowed to do any sponsored ads. But you can still go to the Instagram, which has a link in the bio to dumbbitchclothes.com. So there's that.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Get your dumb bitch clothes. And end the stigma.
Yes.
God damn it. Let's embrace being bitches. So yeah. Oh, this is what I wanted to ask. Like the very first thing I wanted to ask, but I didn't ask at the beginning of the podcast.
Okay.
So I'm scrolling TikTok and there's a person that asks a question. What's a bigger red flag than a white guy with a podcast? Answers?
Wait, is it a riddle?
No, it's an actual question.
Oh.
Name a bigger red flag than a white guy with a podcast.
I have an answer for that. I'll let you go first.
A white guy with a gun in a school?
Yeah.
Oh damn, yeah.
I was-
That's a pretty big red flag. I think.
I was going to say a white guy with a truck that has truck nuts
That's a pretty big red flag.
or like a white guy with a truck nuts, and a giant American flag on the truck.
No, they make truck cunts now.
Do they? No,
Yeah,
they
no,
don't.
they do.
For real?
So I think that's a green flag to me.
Oh my God. That's
Yeah, no, seriously.
so funny. We need to reclaim the truck nuts and make just truck cunts.
Yeah.
So are you
On
being
all the
serious?
trucks.
Like where is the placement of
That's fucking funny.
It's the same. It hangs off the
But it's
trailer
just-
hitch.
It's just like some labia. Like
Yeah.
that's so
It's
funny.
like, it's like the back view.
Oh my goodness.
That's so funny. But yes, there are, like, I know the joke, but there are more problematic things than a white guy with a podcast for sure.
Also, like, everyone can talk shit about that all they want, but I listen to podcasts. So
Yeah.
I wasn't necessarily offended about I stitched the video and I said a white guy with a podcast who's in a band who has a windowless van and then what was the other thing? Who has cats, who drinks vinegar, and that was my video.
Yeah.
That was my response.
maybe I am in danger.
Yeah.
You are in danger.
Now
Especially
that
the van.
now that I see the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Look at you.
The dude from the Verve Pipe said, were you doing this before the pandemic? Because I feel like that's really when there was an explosion of people with microphones, is when the pandemic hit. They're like, I got this idea. I'm going to tell people my opinion on things. Because I'm interesting. I mean, I don't even know why I started doing this. Why did I start doing this, Allie?
I don't know. Why did you start doing this?
I did one interview, and it was with the guy from Bad Brains, the lead singer of Bad Brains. And I was like, okay, well, I have the first episode, and then I just started.
I'll never forget that one interview that we did. We were outside of some music venue,
yeah.
and these guys like quizzed Neil on like his music knowledge. Like, how much do you really know about music? What bands are you really into?
If you really love being a dumb bitch, name 5 dumb bitches.
Yeah. It was fucking.
Who's your favorite dumb bitch and why?
Dude, but you did good. Like, you did a good job, but those dudes like quizzed you. It was so weird.
It was weird because it was some of the dudes are in a band with Mike Patton, right? So and I'm some dill hole in a van, and I'm like, hey, I want to interview your band because I was just trying to get guests on there. And my one buddy out in LA was like, they want to do it, so they all hop in the van, and I'm sitting there, I'm like, hey guys. And he's like, so what kind of music are you into anyway, man?
And then they started naming stuff, and you like knew all the stuff. And I'm like, this is a crazy ass music quiz right now. I don't even know.
And you passed it.
He passed it.
Nice.
It was crazy. I was like, I fucking failed.
This is the thing, though, is
shit.
that at the time, Allie was producing the show, which meant she was in the van holding the camera, which bless you for doing that, by the
cool.
way. Yeah, we before I could do this shit by myself,
I was doing like Zooms. I was like really
She was good.
like The Office, you know, like Zoom, Zoom, Zoom.
Yeah, it gave the actual conversation some life. I feel because there was a very active camera that was doing yada yada. Now we got the more static camera.
I like this better.
Oh, you like it better?
Yeah.
It ultimately doesn't even matter. But anyway, I passed the test, and yeah, the one guy I still follow him on Instagram, Matt Kronk.
I wonder if he failed their test.
If I failed their test,
so
it would have been really weird. It would have been really weird because
weird.
It did like have some elitist, gatekeepy vibes going on.
Yeah, it was weird. That's why it was weird.
But what was nice is when the one dude, the singer of the band, started talking about how he was from Minnesota, and we started talking about Soul Asylum, and then we geeked out on Soul Asylum.
Runaway train never come back.
And after that, he's just like, we just kind of broed down. It was cute. We had a bro down. It was cute. But
cute.
Soul Asylum brings bros together. I can't even talk. Bing bro.
Walken, who's my co-composer in Crune, is from Minnesota. And whenever I'm in Minnesota, we get drunk and karaoke Soul Asylum.
Yes.
Nice.
That's our tradition.
Yeah, you have to. When in Minnesota, like Husker Du, Replacements, Soul Asylum, Prince.
Yeah. You know what's funny? Whenever I'm in Minneapolis, like, there's a surprising, like, lack of Prince, I feel like.
In what way?
Like, I don't know. I just feel like there should be statues of Prince lording over the whole thing or something.
Yeah.
And there's not that. And I'm surprised about that. Like, I feel like in Detroit, Prince is like such a big deal and like still like permeating Detroit music culture in such a way that like any given fucking DJ will play like 2 or 3 Prince songs in a night at a dance club still. And so I don't know. It's just, it doesn't seem like they rep Prince as hard as Detroit does in Minneapolis. And maybe I just haven't been in the right places for it, but like I went out to places where that would happen. So I don't know. I was just like confused about that when I was there.
Have you seen some Prince stuff? Have you like done like a little
We went
Prince
to
trip?
Paisley Park right after he died. It was 2016. We were on tour with Fishbone, and we went to his house, and it was just a perimeter fence, and they weren't letting anybody in. So the perimeter fences had all this DIY art and like candles that had been lit, and a bunch of made signs and stuff that said "We love you" and purple everything, purple flowers, and it was
like the house he grew up in or something. Or?
No, the house that he lived in, which was essentially it's a big white cube. It's very unassuming from the outside. It looks like it could be a fucking office building or something.
Oh, weird.
But as far as I know, you go in there and every room was like mic'd to record. Like it just was a big giant recording studio.
He would just like walk around and be like,
Yeah,
making a new song.
Yeah, he'd be on the
You know?
toilet and get an idea and just be like,
Yeah.
and start. Yeah, I assume the toilet was mic'd.
No, I mean that's smart because if you have the mind to create like such brilliance at any moment, like you should invest in documenting it.
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know?
That's cool.
What are those noises?
I think it's the cat running up and down the stairs. No?
Are
Oh,
you-
it's a car.
See, if you had your
Those
whole
noises.
house as a recording studio, you would probably know.
We could have
Yeah,
got that.
you'd be like, hey, Alexa, access room 6B.
Yeah, you know what our house would sound like if we were recording all the time?
Oh, we were joking, Eli, because we had to get all our farts out before you came in here.
Yeah,
You didn't have to.
Yeah,
We got,
that is true.
I don't know what it is, but we have, we got some flatulence.
Everyone does.
Everyone,
Everyone?
I think every single person.
That's wild,
Yeah.
dude.
probably.
We've been eating a lot of spinach lately.
Yeah, totally.
Got them green farts.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think we had a good exchange here.
Yeah.
We talked a lot about ICP. We talked about depression. We talked about anything else. Like what else?
I mean, I'm good. I'm just thinking about sushi now, and
Are we going to get sushi?
they already called our number, but I need to call them. But
Just say we were on the list and let's
Yeah.
go up there.
But it was fun talking with you.
Yeah, I had a great time.
Yeah.
Thanks,
and I learned
Eli.
so many things about like what's it called? The Gathering. And
Yeah, Juggalo culture is fascinating.
it
Whether
was a
you
fascinating story.
whether you've actually experienced it firsthand or you're just hearing people talk about it, it's really something that is very uniquely ICP. And who else but a couple of wrestling fans from Detroit, wrestling horror movie fans mixing hip hop and performance and soda pop,
Yeah, I don't know if y'all have seen Juggalo Night Court.
Oh, on their Twitch.
Oh, it's amazing.
Nice.
Yeah, because I mean they're lawyers now.
So do they actually like bring people in to like have a
Yeah,
dispute?
and Shaggy and Violent J are the lawyers.
Nice.
I love it.
That's probably pretty
Yeah.
fun.
No, it's super fun.
That's cool. Their podcast was cool. Watching that when you guys played,
Yeah.
that was a cool podcast. They had some good guests.
I want them to invite us back.
I know. When you're in town.
Yeah. Please invite me, Billy Bill and Violent J and Shaggy Too Dope.
I'm going to the gathering this year, so I'll say what's up. And also, I would like $100.
Yeah.
Retroactive.
Maybe we should go. I'll be a juggalette.
Whoop whoop.
I'm like, what's up? I know one song.
I wonder if Allie, if you'd have, I don't know.
You don't think I'd have fun?
You don't really like camping.
I don't like camping.
Get a trail. Get a RV.
Okay, let's get an RV.
You got money?
No,
Yeah,
I don't have RV money.
Renting an RV would be some money.
Well, cool. How do you guys sign off on this thing usually? Do you just like say bye?
Oh no, we could just say bye. Yeah, I'm
Okay.
gonna edit it a little bit, so
Oh, yeah,
it'll be tight.
All right.
Can we all say
It'll
whoop
be real
whoop?
tight. Yeah, on the count of three, let's all say whoop whoop. 1, 2, 3.
Whoop, whoop.
Hey, do you like this video? Do you want to see more stuff like it? Well, consider being a patron of my Patreon page, patreon.com/Neil P. If you pledge monthly, you get some perks, you get some exclusive content, and you get to help stuff like this get made on the monthly. Yo, check it out.